Okay, so coldest day of winter so far, but we're going to try and get this craft fired up. Now, after a disaster in the last video, I went out and bought 2 new batteries for it. Plus, I've got all these charged in case we need them. So, let's get it loaded up and get started. It's still kind of cold down here today. So I've been down here a few times now, tried to fire this thing up, and it just didn't want to play ball. So, got 2 new batteries. They couldn't start it initially, so the connections needed a thorough clean. I changed the link between the 2 batteries, just made sure the posts are on properly. Just followed the hot connections. Then the earth strap really wasn't up too much, so put on this baby. I know 150 squared is a bit excessive, but it's the only thing I had lugs for. So 2 nice big batteries. All the leads are correct. See what she does. Okay, so everything in here is bone dry. Our oil level in the elastic has dropped a bit, which it should as the oil started to circulate around the system. That big hiss that we may have heard is this pipe here, which seems to be, it's just a rubber pipe. It's part of the braking system, so I just need to get that figured out, get that hose fixed, and build further up again. But look, pump's making pressure and things, which is good. And looky there, she's off the ground. So that's it for this episode. Short video, but I know a lot of people out there were eager to see if this machine would run again, and more importantly, would it move. So I've decided just to get this video out as fast as possible. So before I finish up, just a quick recap, I suppose, on where we are. So machine fired up, as you saw, it moved. Pump sounds okay, it's making pressure. That issue in the braking system, now the brake pedal is stuck. Now I had assumed that the valve was stuck in the closed position, so there was no pressure in the system. But because that hose popped, I'm actually going to pull out that brake valve and have a proper look at it, try and free it out and put it back in the machine. It might have been straining a small bit when I was trying to roll the machine over. I actually fired it again after the hose burst, and the machine fired straight up, sounded really healthy, pump sounded okay. Of course, there was spraying hydraulic fluid out of that hose, so I had to stop it again. But it wasn't under pressure or anything. The engine had stalled, as you saw, just before that hose popped. So there's something pulling it down a bit. Now, I know the engine was cold. The revs are incredibly low. I've sent the video to a few guys who are familiar with cats, and they've had a look at it, and they're happy with the way it sounds, given the temperatures that were there, how little runtime the engine had, and how few revs I was giving it. I was just conscious about the pump and the fact that it may not be 100% primed, or that the oil may not have gone around the system. So I was keeping those revs low. Plus, that engine hasn't had an oil change as yet, so I was trying to protect the turbo. I need to warm her up now. Next day I get her running, I'll drop the oil, change the filter, and I'll also drop the coolant and replace it. So the next step now is to replace that hose. I might remove it off the machine maybe tomorrow, and they have a facility down the workshop down there to make hoses, so I got another one made. But before I fire her back up, I'll just go through the braking system and have a look at it. I also need to swap back the hoses that are in the incorrect position. So somebody disconnected the bucket ram, and that was feeding the grab, so I just need to reverse the pipes. I believe at present the bucket ram pipework and the breaker pipework are mixed up out in the boom, so I swapped those over. I've got the quick hitch, so I'll reattach that to the machine and just go through it. I'm not 100% on the controls in this machine, so I could have some valves in there activated that I don't know about, which also may have made the engine that a little bit tougher to start. But I'll run through all that. I'm going to try and get one of the operators that had used it last down there to have a look at it. I guess everybody's memory is a little bit hazy on this one because the machine has been sat somewhere between 8 and 9 years. But we'll take a run through it, and I will, as I say, replace the hose, fire back up and see how we go. But at this stage, I'm quite confident that the thing's going to work. So just to finish, the reaction to the last video has been absolutely incredible. Thank you so much. So many people commented, some really kind comments there, some really encouraging comments there. And I must say I appreciate each and every one of them. It's been fantastic. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for subscribing. And thank you for hitting the like button. Please continue to do so. I've got a couple more projects coming up. There is one I might drop onto tomorrow. It's one I had actually filmed over the last 2 years. I'm not very happy with some of the footage, but I think now is an ideal time to pull it out because I want to use it just to do demonstrations on curing cold hard starting issues on diesels. So I'm going to do a video on that, plus I've got a couple of will it start videos coming up, and working on a few other things. Now we're back into fairly strict lockdown here at the moment, so that's going to interfere with some of it, but luckily a lot of the stuff I've already got on site here, or it's within the limit of the area that I can travel. So and just being responsible now, I won't be working around other people and things, so I'll get going on it and hopefully get it to you soon. So thanks again for watching. Hopefully get a video out to you again soon. Take care of yourselves, stay safe, speak soon.